Everywhere I look online, apparently everybody hates Snoop.
For all the hate, I'ma answer it with love. Y'all can't hate enough on me. I love too much. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black. All out. Till you ball out. Or till you fall out. I ain't going nowhere. Come right here. Yeah. On crypto. Yeah, get the crypto on crypto. Here we go. We gotta learn to pick each other up instead of pulling each other down. That's what we great at as black people. We great at tearing each other down. You could be up 1 minute and they'll try to pull you down the next. But I'm a strong black man. I'm cut from a different cloth. Can't tear me down. I'm one of God's child. One of his children. And I'm taking the load. Here we go. Shout out to my grandkids and my kids and my beautiful wife, my brother, uncles, aunties, family members, cousins. Y'all know what it is. Bang, bang. The only way to beat hate is with love. Learn from the dog. Teach you something every day. God bless y'all. I'm out. Heaven. Hey.
What up, where's your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Gang, listen. Apparently Snoop got the message, but he's going to confront your hate with his love. His big open arms of love, right? Snoop is just too lovely for you guys to bring him down. Snoop went live, gang. And he's chilling. He's looking good. He's feeling great. He said he gonna combat all forms of hate, all forms of bringing him down. It's gonna roll off his shoulders. He can hold the weight. He got the shoulders for this, and this moment will pass. He gonna put it all on God's hands, right? I don't think Snoop, how Cube say, either they don't know, don't show, or don't care what's going on in the hood. I think Snoop really, I'm not going to say he don't care, because I'm looking in Snoop's eyes in this video, and Snoop definitely cares. They lit his ass up in them comments. I'm looking at his eyes reading the comments. I'm looking at it. You could tell. You could just look at his face and see that them comments is tearing him up off rip. I'm just going to be honest. Snoop absolutely is going to have to address this. He's not going to be able to keep going random live and making these cryptic posts about, I'm just chilling on a Sunday watching my gospel music. Shout out to my grandma, I'm 100% black and all this stuff. Snoop doesn't seem to want to get to the bottom of the problem. And I'm here to help out Snoop. I'm going to help you out, Snoop, because for some reason, you have strayed away from the cause. And I can't blame you, because a lot of people have strayed away from the cause. A lot of people have assimilated into this American culture, and they think that they're a part of it. Yeah, you're a part of it, but not how you think, right? So let me just help out Snoop and help out all the people that get in my comments and ask me, what's the problem with Snoop? He changed his mind. He just made a decision to make money for his family, to better himself. He has no issue with the man. So why are you upset? Why are you guys taking this so serious? You're taking it too far, right? You're all in his comments. You're calling them all kind of names. So let me help out Snoop and those people who don't understand what's going on, right? So what happened with Snoop, in case you live under a rock, I'm not even going to say live under a rock. Everybody don't be online every day. Everybody ain't up on everything that's going on. So let me help you out what's going on with Snoop. So Snoop was at a crypto ball for in essence, the inauguration of Donald J. Trump, or like I like to say, he who shall not be named. Snoop decided to perform at that ball along with Rick Ross and Soulja Boy. Nelly also was scheduled to perform at the next inauguration ball, so therefore he caught some of this backlash too. You're probably like, Challz, what backlash? What you talking about? If you were on a rocket ship in outer space, you wouldn't know what happened. So let me explain to you what happened. Snoop went to perform. He DJ'd and he performed some of his big records in front of a room of he who shall not be named supporters, right? You're like, Challz, what's wrong with that? He's the president, he's the 45th president, 47th president of the United States. What's wrong with going to perform at his ball? Well, nothing's wrong with it unless you are telling us you're a jigaboo if you go, because a few years ago, 2016, Snoop said any black person that got up and performed at the inauguration ball for he who shall not be named was a jigaboo. And he was going to clown you and roast you if you did it. Yes, sir, I'd tap dance for you, sir. These are Snoop's exact words. So a few years ago, for some reason, Snoop had a problem with going to perform, or anyone that would perform, at Donald Trump's or he who shall not be named's inauguration. Now, here we are, 2025. He's on that stage in a red suit, of all things, playing his music. He's the DJ and the rapper. He's Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, right? So now people are like, wait a minute, Snoop, what's going on? Gang, you up on stage, you supporting this man, you yada, yada, yada. Snoop has not responded. He has not said a word. But as a matter of fact, if you pay attention, he's been slowly supporting this guy for the last couple months. This has been flip-flopping. A lot of you people want to blame it on, not blame it, you want to use Harry O, the part owner of Death Row Records. A lot of you want to use the excuse, and I understand it sounds good, but upon further review, it don't make no sense. You want me to tell you why? Because Harry O is supposed to be part of the owner of Death Row with Suge Knight. He put the front money up, then he went to prison. Suge Knight didn't pay him back. Suge Knight didn't put him in the records as being an owner of Death Row. He basically cheated him out of his money, right? Long story short, Harry O was looking to get it pardoned. Trump pardoned Harry O. Now, we all know that Trump pardons came with strings, which means you had to financially donate to he who shall not be named's campaign some kind of way, or directly in his pocket. I don't know how they paid him, but some kind of way, Cashapp, Venmo, I don't know how they paid him, but they paid him, and then you got the pardon. Quite a few rappers, Lil Wayne got the pardon, Kodak Black got the pardon, but we all know that all the pardons came with money. So allegedly, Harry O got his pardon, and he became forever grateful to Trump along with Snoop. And we also believe, I personally believe, that Snoop helped put some of that money into Trump's pardon of Harry O. So that's kind of an investment. So at this point, allegedly, Harry O is a staunch supporter of he who shall not be named, and basically is one of the people that are stomping for him in his re-election campaign. He was one of the people forefront trying to get this man reelected. So a lot of people have surmised that Harry O asked Snoop to do him a favor. The only reason that works, and if you think about this, the only reason that Snoop performing for Harry O works as a favor is if he was still running. This guy already won. It doesn't make any sense to say, yo, bro, I need a favor. It don't make no sense. The election's over. He already won. This is not even his real inauguration. This is a party before the inauguration. This is a crypto ball for a whole different thing, but it's still under this guy's inauguration flag banner. It's a whole thing, right? So with that being said, why would Harry O ask now after the election's over for this favor? I don't think this thing has nothing to do with Harry O asking Snoop for a favor. I think Snoop wanted to do this. Snoop got a bag. I think he supports this man. So us giving Snoop the cop-out that is for Harry O kind of not really making no sense if this guy already won the election. I could see if it was before the election, they needed to rally the troops. No, this guy already won in the landslide. So we don't need you to be here for that, right? This is for the crypto and the crypto money. Snoop wants to get into this crypto market and be accepted under these guys, and he wants to be under the Trump market. That whole banner, he thinks he's looking long term. He's like, yo, the whole tide is about to turn. A lot of black males voted for this guy. A lot of females, not black females, but a lot of females voted for this guy. A lot of people of stature with money and wealth voted for this guy to be in office. He's going to take care of our tax issues. He's taking care of the rich and wealthy. So this is when they're in these little meetings and parties and this and that, and they're talking amongst each other, they say what they really feel. And I'm sure Snoop really feel a way. Like, yo, why am I going against the grain? Why am I going against the grain? All the money's standing over here, right? And it ain't nothing to be ashamed of no more. A lot of people are actually openly saying things in good standing with this guy. A lot of people, gang, not just rappers, not just Waka Flocka, not just Lil Pump. There's a lot of people, a lot of personalities, media people, a lot of people on Twitter. This thing is getting like, it's not that simple to just say, oh yeah, F this guy. No, a lot of people are riding with this guy, believe it or not. So Snoop is probably like, gang, the tide is turning. I'm gonna go this way. Everybody's going that way. I'm gonna go with him too. But he didn't remember that the people not going that way. The rich people, yeah, but the rich people outnumber the poor people outnumber the rich people by a lot. So the rich people are going to be like, yeah, let's get this and get that going. But at the same time, people online haven't forgotten. They haven't changed their vote. They maybe didn't go vote, but they haven't changed how they feel. Snoop didn't read the room right. So Snoop miscalculated what that crypto ball, all that. Yeah, I'm at the crypto. He didn't understand what that really was going to bring, the problems that was going to happen. So now he's facing the backlash. Well, he's not going to apologize to you. He has to for him to move forward. He's going to have to say something, but he's not going to because for one, he's standing on it. And for two, he knows that's where his bread is buttered, on that side. The minute he apologizes, then he becomes the enemy on that side. Now he can't come back, right? He figuring like, look, do I want to stand on this side where my money going to be right? Or do I want to stand on that side where all y'all doing is talking in the comments and that ain't putting no money in my pocket? Snoop ain't worrying about your comments. He not worrying about how we feel over here, right? But I'm going to help Snoop to understand, or help other people who don't understand why people mad at Snoop. I personally couldn't believe it. When I saw this guy do this video, and it's been coming for a while. It's been a lot of things that Snoop has been kind of like on the bubble and this and that and the third. And it's just like he's leaning away from everything that built him there, because let's just be honest, when this guy first came out, he was us. This guy was the young brash. He was us, straight out the hood, off the block. He represented everything we represented. This dude was it. Spitter, he could go off the top of the dome. This dude was he was a young buck, getting trained by the best, like getting in that booth with one of the greatest producers in the history of hip hop. This guy was it. He had his finger on the pulse. 5-6 million copies sold. This guy was legit. A legit legend in hip hop. Just no, it ain't no way around it. This guy was a legit legend. So we can't take that from him. And what endeared him to not just us, because the black dollar moved the needle for millions of them records to be sold. I'm just gonna be honest. But at the same time, we had a lot of other cultures looking up to him for what he was doing under the guise of us. They thought he was this cool black rapper that was so street, so hood, this and that and the third. They believed everything he was saying. They liked his music. So that propelled him into another stratosphere. He used that to get where he is, right? So the reason that he endeared himself to us and others was because he seemed extremely real. He seemed extremely likable, and he was good at what he was doing. Him and Dre was a great team, right? So that put him in his position to do the things that he's branched off into, all of this stuff with the cannabis market, and he's doing the Olympics, cooking shows with Martha Stewart. 25 years of just making himself valuable, his brand bigger. Snoop could go anywhere, light up a blunt anywhere. This guy brand is massive. And for a time, it was good. 25 years, Snoop has been accelerating his brand. He's been the most likable, literally the most recognizable rapper in the history of rap. There is no one bigger than him. You could say Tupac, but Tupac don't get the recognition. I'm just going to be honest. Now, I'm talking about worldwide. That can move products. How many products can Tupac say? I'm talking about a guy that is liked in every room he goes. Wherever he goes, he's going to be able to sit down with an exec and make a deal on any product. He could sell, what was he selling last year? The flameless fireplaces. Like, this guy is a product within himself. So Snoop misread the room that his product brand was so strong that he could literally do anything and it doesn't matter. But what he didn't understand was that some people like myself still care. Some people still have morality, which I'm surprised how many people are mad about this. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know where y'all was at when it was time to vote, but a lot of y'all people are seriously upset about this. And I think that Snoop and a lot of his supporters don't understand why. So I'm going to help y'all out to get y'all where I am. And I know y'all not going to care, because if you've already made your mind up that nothing's wrong, then nothing's wrong, right? So maybe I'm speaking in the echo chamber to people that care about things like I do. But I look at an artist, when they stand up there, right, Carrie Underwood, whoever gets up there and sing a song for this guy being elected as the 47th president, you're sending a message that you agree with what he's doing, you agree with what he's saying, and you want others to know it. When I stand up there at someone's inauguration, I am celebrating that person. I'm celebrating the administration. I'm celebrating what they're offering and they're saying that they're going to do. And this guy hit the ground running on some crazy stuff, and a lot of people are not happy about it, right? But what Snoop doesn't understand, I'm not going to say he doesn't understand, he doesn't care to know, is that these issues and these things that this guy, 26 executive orders on day one, they're going to affect a lot of the people that look up to him. A lot of the black people that put money in his pocket that went out of their way to make sure that Snoop became the brand that he is. That thought Snoop was so cool and so righteous and so about what we're doing. We didn't even ask him to prove it. We just assumed he was down with us. We just assumed it for many years. But you're on stage DJing and rapping for a guy who just 26 executive orders. Like I said, day one. And me, I still care about certain things that affect me. I am not a person that only wants what this guy says is right. A lot of you people are saying, whatever this guy says, that's what it is, right? Oh, Mexicans are bad? Then they're bad. We don't need Black History Month? Then we don't need it. Whatever this guy says, it is what it is. The Capital 6 rioters, they're heroes, then they're heroes. Whatever he says, you guys are flipping and bouncing and making it into anything that you want it to be. It's sad, guy. I'm just gonna be honest. When I see you people, and especially people of color, who go on my page and go online, and they try to act like that they don't know why, right? They don't understand why we have issues with the administration that just came in, or why we feel the way we feel. They want to act like, what are you talking about? Explain to me. They want you to explain. If you don't know by now, you're never going to know. Right? But I'm going to tell you a couple things that I don't want a guy to just pander to me, but I don't want him to destroy my legacy. I don't want him to do things that's going to be harmful to my community. Just going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. I don't want a guy who is going to, I jotted down a couple things. All right. I jotted down a couple things because I'm a little bothered. I'm just a little bit bothered. When you're going to take away Black History Month and you're going to take away DEI, right? And I know this new thing, it's not a lot of people in DEI, it's 4%. Listen. You got to understand this is a bigger issue than just Black History Month and DUI. This is a concerted effort to minimize you and your power. He's about to release Dr. King's records, the files that were sealed when the CIA was surveying him and getting all of his dirt on him. They have that packed away. He's going to release that. Now you're saying, Charles, what's wrong with that? He's going to release JFK's. He's going to release Robert F. Kennedy's. He's going to release Martin Luther King's. He don't care about the other two. Gang, you don't understand what you're up against. Martin Luther King really is one of the last things. When you go online in any group, you can go into a white group, black group, any group, and they're singing the praises of Martin Luther King. Believe it or not, it's so weird. Like, even the staunch racists, you'll see them on Twitter. Why can't you guys be like more like King? It'll be a straight up racist and be like, you can't be more like Dr. King, right? He said, judge a man by his character. They try to use this stuff against you. They try to throw Dr. King's words in your face or back at you as if you're not living some kind of weird code that somehow you're supposed to try to overlook everything and just go turn the other cheek like Dr. King. They use it against you, gang. It is what it is. But now, it's getting darker because now they want to release these records and show that I'm trying to look for the right word, but he had affairs and flings and different associations with women other than his wife. They want to show you that. Because once that narrative comes out and they start putting names and faces and all this stuff to this narrative that King ain't who you thought he was, oh man. Oh my God. Wait till that happens. Just wait. I'm just going to sit back and watch how the narrative of Dr. King, what kind of names they start to call this man, the things they start to make up about him. And you're not going to be able to speak this man's name out without getting completely eviscerated. You're not going to be able to invoke Dr. King no more. They're about to obliterate his legacy. But you don't understand that, Snoop. They're about to try to obliterate this man's legacy. You don't understand that. They're making simple words like diversity. Diversity? We cherished ourselves on that. We were trying to get in diversity and representation and inclusion. That's what we was fighting for all through the 80s and 90s. Those college kids went out in the world like, this is not diverse. That movie's not diverse. That job is not diverse. We fought on that. They threw that in there because we asked for it. Now they're making it a bad word. This guy's trying to find everybody that ever got a job from DEI and try to fire them. It's a lot of black jobs gonna be lost, gang. Y'all not thinking about that. Y'all don't care. Y'all riding whatever you say. Yeah, that DEI, get him out of here. Everything we fought for, they ripping it apart. But Snoop's on stage, right? Doing drop it like it's hot. They're eliminating help. Biden put in place it's not a pro-Biden thing by any stretch. I didn't want Biden. I'm just going to be honest with you. But he put in some things that helped us as a society. See, when you help blacks, you help society. That's what people not understanding. When you help other cultures, you help society. It ain't about just help the blacks. No, he's taking out all that stuff. All the holidays, the federals, they taking that out. You can't even, they're taking it where you can't even acknowledge it. You can't acknowledge MLK Day. They're taking it out, gang. They're using the word ethnic. They're about to erase anything you thought, any progress you thought we made. And see, this is the problem. We're divided. We don't understand that we made that progress from sweat, tears. People died for the progress that we made. Because without the progress, we was doing bad, gang. They're setting us back decades. They're about to take a lot of them jobs that we fought so hard to get. And the funny thing about it, this is what nobody really understands. They owe you this. This country is only here because of us. I'm just going to be honest with you. They're not giving you the goddamn thing. This is stuff you should have been had. They can't have these multi-billion-dollar contracts and multi-million-dollar jobs if we didn't fight and die on them battlefields with them. They want to make you feel beneath them as if you're begging for something. Gang, there is no America without us fighting out there, dying on them fields. There is no America without us in Vietnam with them. There is no America, but we don't get the benefits of that. And we get made like, I'm taking everything from you. If you got DEI, they're keeping you out of stuff that they don't themselves own. The only reason they own it is because we don't have the power to be in there. We should have it with them. They decide who gets it because they control it. They're the minority. I mean, they're the majority. We're the minority. They're the majority. They have the power of it, but they didn't earn that power alone. And that's the part he shouldn't be able to get up there and make these decisions about our fate as if he controls it. He doesn't. But they won't tell you that. A lot of these black guys are like, yeah, Trump is a real man. I saw a guy on Twitter today. He's a real man. He's putting the women back in their place. That's what y'all want, the women back in their place. Gang, it's getting real crazy. These guys are saying some wild stuff out here. I'm just going to be honest with you. Just going to be honest. So with a stroke of the pen, right? First of all, these are things that everyone should have. He's canceling Medicare to lower prescription drug prices in Medicare. They're canceling that. Why? What's wrong with that? Just because this guy did it? Just because Biden did it, now we can't have the lower prescription prices? See, these are things I care about. I don't know about you. You may care about, you like Trump, da-da-da. Let's get off the name of this guy. There's an administration. This guy doesn't make all these things. You think he sat down and made these 26 executive orders on his own? This is an administration. They have policies that they're trying to put in place. Your boy Elon Musk just did a Nazi symbol, a Nazi gesture. I know a lot of people want to debate and da-da-da. Well, let's see if he does it again. Right? You're entering an administration that laid these plans out for years of what they were going to do. They already told you what they're going to do. They don't include you. A lot of them are really against your best interest, but you don't know that because you're caught up with the flash and pan of this guy being so freaking, he's a G, he's one of us, he's a black guy, it's embarrassing how much you guys don't know. It's embarrassing. This guy is almost These things were already in movement before he even ran for president day one. This stuff from the 60s. They're trying to reinstate stuff before this guy was even thinking about politics. They're trying to reinstate stuff. This guy is the front man for a whole thing that you can't even see. It was easy for you to believe Obama was a puppet, but you can't believe this guy's a puppet. You would never believe that. There are people behind this guy, gang. You don't understand that. There are people that want this place to be a certain way. It ain't just him. These things, they've been trying to make this stuff happen forever. They just didn't have the guy to get in front of it to make it happen. Now they got him. You're caught up in this guy from The Apprentice. You think that this guy's an actor. No, you think that this guy has no boss. I guarantee you someone is moving the needle on all of this. You think this guy sat down on all of these 26 executive orders. He sat and made all of them. You just think that. You think some kind of way, these are all his thoughts, all his ideas, everything that he believes is this is what he wrote down, right? Yeah. Good luck. So what I want to do is I want to talk about the 26 executive orders because Snoop and these other people don't understand what's going on out here. So I wrote down a few. He pardoned the Capitol rioters, the January 6th rioters. Now, that may not mean none to you, right? But to me as a grown man, when you see all of these people, right, running up and through the Capitol, I'm just going to be honest, I got people that work down there. I'm from that area. I know people who work there, right? You saw the black cop that saved all the politicians because he ran them a certain way. That's just a dude doing his job. I think four cops died. They wasn't supposed to pardon all of the violent ones, just the non-violent, but they end up pardoning everybody. They saying one thing and doing another, gang. So everybody that did anything, that went in that building and did anything is back home. Whether they hit a cop in the head, whether they climbed the wall, whether they put poop in the damn, they pooped in this lady's desk, gang. They was bugging out in there. Snatching their stuff off the walls. And I know you don't care, but I do. Because I know if I rounded up 5,000 wild-ass black dudes like me, and we went halfway to that thing talking about we was going to that Capitol, I'm gonna leave the rest of your imagination. How close will we get to that Capitol? We mounting up by the subway station. We go all meet at the subway station. We gonna run up in there. You think we gonna run up in there and get pardoned? Yeah, good luck. It'd be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing for every black dude to try to run up and through there. But no, these guys got pardoned. They're going home. It's called law, gang. We don't get to break it. We go up in that Capitol, hit any cop. We could pluck them on the shoulder. We gonna do some real time. So no, I got a problem with it. It's a lot of dudes in jail right now for selling weed. These dudes went in the Capitol, bust people heads open, people bleeding and everything else. They had a guillotine. I mean, not a guillotine. They had a noose. They was gonna hang these people if they caught them, gang. But they all home. This administration has withdrawn from the Paris Climate Agreement. Me personally, I feel very strongly about the world's pollution. I feel very strongly about climate change. That's not a black issue, that's a world issue. I feel a way about that. So when I get a guy who comes in and his first day, he wants to get out of something that's going to help the climate, I don't want that guy as my president. I'm just going to be honest. You guys aren't thinking beyond yourself. You think that this guy is cool and going to put some money in your pocket. We're going to be dead, gang. This world is going to burn up, but it is what it is. At this point, it's nothing I can do. I can just wait these 4 years out and see if we still alive. It's just crazy. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what y'all are watching, but I'm not seeing good things. And it's just weird to see these people online making it like, this is the best president ever. This is based on what? Ross Albright was a creator of a dark web program called Silk Road, and he was accused of a lot of heinous things, including solicitation of murder for people that he had issues with. He had already did 11 years. He was supposed to do life, and Trump pardoned him, right? Now, I don't know which way you swing on that or whatever, and a lot of people get pardoned, but it just seems like he got pardoned because they campaigned for this guy. So it's like anybody that leans and says, I like you, I'm with you, you're my guy, they get preferential treatment, and the other ones don't. There's a lot of people are being called scum because they were doing their job. They are law enforcement agents. Now, when we were screaming about the law enforcement agents harassing and being really overbearing against us, that's when Blue Lives Matter popped up, right? But now, anybody that don't agree with this guy could get it, right? All the cops from the Capitol don't matter because the J6ers were wrongfully accused and we got to get them out. I'm in a bizarre world, gang. I'm just going to be honest. I don't understand it. This is nothing like what I grew up on, but it is turning back to what I grew up on because we ain't have nothing back in the day. They were making sure we was unemployed and stayed that way. I'm just going to be honest. A lot of these programs were put in place because they wanted to keep you lazy. They wanted to make you look like the problem. They wanted your communities to suffer. It was a hell of a fight to get them to where they are now. See, what happens is, and I'm just going to be really, really clear, when people don't have nothing to fight for no more, they start to get lazy. They start to divide because it's not that serious. Now we got people, if this was the 1950s, a lot of this division wouldn't even exist because we would know our enemy would be very blunt. He's right there. They're telling you, I'm going to kick your head, and if you walk into this restaurant, I'm going to spit in your face if you step in this school. And I'm going to follow your car and put your body in the woods because I can. But these people now, everything's a joke. Everything's funny. Everything's debatable. They don't have zero concept of who's with them and who's against them. Therefore, this guy can come in on day one and eliminate half the stuff to help your other compadre, to help the people in your same race, the people that look like you, the people that have the same issues as you. You thinking it's all about getting money because you see these rappers getting money or you see these drug dealers getting money. Everybody not rapping and dealing drugs. Everybody not ball players. A lot of people are hardworking people that just want to survive. And you don't understand that because you're caught up in these industry politics. You don't like Biden, so all of a sudden you like Trump. This ain't about neither one of them, gang. You're dealing with something bigger than both of them. Trump died tomorrow. This system going to keep going like it is. They want this to be a certain way. It has nothing to do with this guy. But you don't get that. You're defending a guy that ain't even the forefront of what's happening. They're trying to reinstate some stuff that's way bigger than him long after he's gone. They want to have this stuff in place so your ass is back where you was in 1950 and 40, making it great again. But you don't understand that. I'm trying to explain to you. When this guy is gone, these policies will still be there. They're not about him. This is bigger than him. That's why I'm not arguing about him. I'm showing you you're being targeted. You may say, Charles, the immigrants are da-da-da, whatever. You don't have to like the immigrants. But what you got to understand is when they start to devalue a certain group, and that group gets devalued to the point where you can run up in their house, kick in their doors, go get them at their schools, go grab them at their jobs, take them and just do whatever with them, grab them up any kind of way. If she's one, whatever, you start rounding them up, just grabbing them any kind of way, even against their rights. This guy trying to take birthrights, gang. He's trying to take, if you were born here, and see, we so busy trying to make excuses for this guy, and we're trying to make problems for these other people that we're getting so spiteful. I'm just going to be honest. We're getting spiteful and hateful. We're like, well, you don't even belong here anyway, gang. That birthright stuff, that's pointing at you next. I know you don't want to believe it. And this ain't even only just for us. This is for all kind of races. The African, all kind of people from everywhere. They're going to have issues with this. It's not just going to be, let's get them immigrants, them Mexican. Well, there's a lot of people that's not Mexican that is immigrants. There's a lot of people who come here and do their job every day. They're not fighting and still not doing nothing. They're driving that bus you're on. They're doing that work in that Walmart, and they're doing that, they're picking that fruit, they're doing this and that and the third that you don't want to do and refuse to do. And they're minding their business. And let's just be honest, at the end of the day, this place is a melting pot for a reason. I know it sounds corny. It sounds corny. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of races that make this thing. Our economy counts on a lot of different people from a lot of different places putting in their money into this pot and making it to what it is. This is how our country becomes what we do, what we are. Because people from everywhere on a world stage make this place great into what it is. It's not just about, oh, the white people gonna make it great. Or the black people gonna make it great. There is a plethora of people that are building this country to what it is. And I know that sounds corny. I understand, I get it. But I believe that. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people of a lot of nationalities. I'm not pointing out one saying you're the problem. That Mexican right there is the problem. It's a lot of immigrants. It's Sweden. It's people from Sweden. It's a lot of people that ain't got no papers that are here. It ain't just the Mexicans, gang. Sorry to tell you. It's a bunch of Africans that ain't got no papers too. Bunch of Haitians, bunch of Dominicans. It ain't just the Mexicans. I know you want to put it all on the Mexicans, gang. Ain't just them when they talking about these immigrants. Just so you know. Right? Just so you know. They only make up a small percent of these immigrants. And all these immigrants ain't black. All these immigrants ain't Spanish. So this world in and of itself has a bigger issue. Because once we start to narrow it down, when you understand what the real issue is, they don't want to be replaced. They don't want to be the minority ever. So once they get this issue of these Mexicans and these immigrants out of here, guess who else going after that? I know you don't want to believe it, but guess who's going after that? When they want this country, when I say they, there's a group. They got different names, but they all want the same thing, and they're pushing together to get these policies in place. And once they get they want this place for themselves. In case you didn't know, they want this place for themselves. They don't want the melting pot no more. They don't want all of the this, that, and the third. They want it to be, listen, we own this. This is ours now. Even though you've been allowed to be here for many years, you got to go now. So they're going to start with this whole thing of demonizing these people, making them, I'm just talking about Mexicans, there's a lot, anybody that's not born here, they're demonizing them. But next, if you're paying attention, the rhetoric now, and I keep telling you this, they're saying black people are the most violent race. So once they kick out all of the Mexicans that are so violent and then they're going to start saying, we still got to live with these violent ass black people. Right? We know that's not true. We know we're not a violent race, but they're going to trump up all of the crimes. Crimes happen in the inner cities, and people do things. All races do crimes, gang. All of them. Everybody does murder. Everybody does whatever, you name it. Drugs and everything else. Every race does that. But they're going to make you seem worse. It's a whole lot of economic nonsense behind that, but they're going to make you seem worse. And after a while, once they don't have the Mexicans to point at and these immigrants to point at, they're going to say, well, you know, it really wouldn't be as much crime if we got these blacks out of here. Either it's two ways to get them out of here. You can put them all in jail or you can bury them or send their ass to Africa or something. But this is what it's coming to. When they can dehumanize you, start pushing you into smaller spaces, pushing you in them inner city spots and keeping you in them projects, shoving you over there. It's starting to sound pretty good. When they start, it's called gentrification. When they start moving into that house that Aunt Hattie had for 30 years, now Sarah's there, right? And where did the people that live there? They move somewhere else, congested, on top of each other in high rises. That's projects. Fighting for the little bit of scraps that they giving you because they ain't giving you no jobs. It gets bad, gang. I'm telling you. But you can keep voting for guys like this. And you can keep making it about that we don't get it. or we're overreacting, or you don't see it. And as these laws start to be enacted and they start to pull away things like, when you pull away Black History Month, what you don't understand is representation matters. When they start saying these people, because they say it now, these people don't do nothing. They haven't invented it. They really say this stuff on Twitter. Y'all haven't invented nothing. You don't provide no services to this country. You're freeloaders, you're loafers, you're welfare babies. Your mom, you don't have no dad. Your mom is on state assistance. They really have a really bad negative opinion of you. And when they can dehumanize you, they can justify these things they're going to start doing, like giving the police no freaking accountability. So when the police comes down and start beating you in your head, shooting you, they're going to say, good, that's another one dead. They're not going to have no compassion for you. And what you don't understand is, without the compassion from the people in power, you're dog food. Just gonna be honest, gang. When you are nothing but a criminal that's looking for a handout, it's real easy to put you on trial with a jury and all of them say guilty. Because they have no compassion for you. They think you're a bum anyway. They think you're dirt. And these cops come out, I think he just pardoned the guys that they killed that kid down in D.C. He pardoned them. I don't know if y'all understanding what's going on, gang. It's going to be the cops do no wrong, and you obviously did it. So when they come in your house and shoot you in your stomach, somehow you were wrong. If you don't see where this is going. And this is why everybody's mad at Snoop. And it's not even just a Black thing, because it's getting crazy for all the races. They're doing a lot of things that they're not going to be able to, for long, keep saying, oh, this is for this reason, that for. At some point, it's just going to become flat out, we're doing this so our particular people get a certain leg up and yours don't. And I'm not just talking about Blacks. I'm not talking about whites. It's going to be rich people versus poor people. And when you have enough money to sustain, that's when there's going to be, okay, come on up here, Snoop and whoever else. This thing is about to get really bad. They're about to replace all the jobs with AI. I don't know where you people are going to be working at. But as that starts to take hold, they're not going to have to care about you, because why should we? They're not teaching about you. They took away the Tuskegee Airmen. Then the video, they don't want to teach nothing good about you, gang. You need to understand what's happening. Anything that's positive about you and your culture, they want to remove that. They're thinking long term. And when I see somebody Black say they're playing checkers and you're playing checkers, they're playing chess. Right? But not in a good way. They're making it like we're slow because we don't see that these guys are doing the right thing. No, chick, you're dumb. They're not playing checkers or chess. They're playing genocide, and they're trying to get your ass out of here. And you're sitting up there trying to promote. I saw a chick on Twitter. She got a whole thing about what we don't get and how this guy is the best thing to happen. Like, no, chick. We get it. That's the problem. I get it. I see what's happening. I see where this is going. There's going to be a lot of pen strokes to stroke away years of things that we've accomplished. These things aren't there. Black History Month is not there as just like some type of Twitter meme. That's important. They're removing the Black teachings of everything we've done from all schools. They're going to try to make it like we've done nothing here. They're going to try to make it like we're pretty much slaves, the end. We created a lot of this stuff. We created a lot of this land. We helped build this land backwards and forwards. A lot of these buildings you see, we helped build them. We did a lot. And we do a lot without this place. And that's the thing. One thing we need to start doing, gang, if you got a problem with what's going on, you need to start building the infrastructure so you don't have to worry about what they do. Spend in your community. Build your own community. And at that point, we already know that they're coming to destroy it, so we don't let that happen this time. I'm just going to be honest. So at this point, what Snoop doesn't understand, he's talking about I'm 100% Black. You sure? Because the reason that everybody's so mad, and believe me, everybody's mad. I know it's a few of you guys sprinkled in that don't understand and you rocking with the other side and this and that. That's okay, do you. But for the most part, it ain't too many people that's happy with what Snoop is doing because they get it. It's bigger, it's badder, it's worse, it's darker than you think. But you're not paying attention, so you don't know. These are times, gang, when people gonna look back 100 years from now and say, what did you guys do? Right? Did you even know what was going on? Because I to this day, I am fascinated. I'm fascinated with Hitler, Nazi story, because I can't imagine how we got there. And every time, it never fails. I'll watch, it could be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I'll watch a documentary and it started slow. It started with a person who really wasn't that smart. He wasn't that bright. He's inferior. He failed in every way. Hitler failed in every kind of way, gang. He failed in every kind of way. But he used that fear. And he used the progress of the people before him that were trying to make them into some type of master race. He picked that ball up and he ran with it. And he ran with the master race theories, and he ran with those ideologies, and he overdid it. And before you knew it, all of them was riding with him, doing these heinous things to people. So I'm like, how do we get there? And when you're in the middle of it, when you see it. And I'm in the middle of it right now and I see it.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.